When was the last time you saw me on TV? See, that's not right. With the pandemic, bringing people into my home is kind of risky. But the stars in entertainment, moguls in media, icons in business, political brand names, and hot-stepping trendsetters are coming over. They're coming over for the tea with MisRed.
When we talk about the business of entertainment, I think this guy's name usually will pop up somewhere, somehow. So at the beginning of my career, I think he was probably one of the guys who gave me the best lessons around the business of entertainment. Until today, I still use it. So I'm really excited to be having Walter Wanyanya. Not only has he been a manager to some of the biggest artists you can think of in Africa, but he's also done some of the biggest festivals that we have in Zimbabwe. So we're going to have some tea with him, and hopefully we will learn a thing or two, because I know for a fact a lot of us don't know much about the business of entertainment, but he has the answers. So let's have some tea. So you may possibly have seen him on Twitter on a bike, promoting Zimbabwe and all the beautiful things about it. But there's so many layers to him that a lot of people probably don't know. And a lot of things that you do on a daily basis. You're a busy guy, Walter. You're a really busy guy.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that a good thing that you're busy?
It's a very good thing.
Okay.
Busy is good.
Busy is good. So we're having tea, and we just want to talk a little bit about all the different facets of Walter Wanyanya, right?
Yep.
So I know that you do a lot of things, including music promotion, arts development. You're really like at the crux of just the business of music in Zimbabwe. But we talk of things like festivals that you've done, Jacaranda Festival, Jabalani, right? You've also worked with big artists in the industry, 𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗥𝗪𝘨, 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗥𝗪𝗪, Victor Kunonga, Mukumba, so many artists, I can't stop. But I want to take us back to where this passion for music starts, because they always say that if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And I think that you love what you do because of the effort that you put in what you do.
Yeah, I do love what I do.
Right? So you're not working?
No.
You're living?
Getting paid is bonus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the passion first.
Passion, music. I think I fell in love with music in the church.
In the church?
Yes.
I would have never thought of you as like a like a church boy. Really?
Yeah, I started playing music in church.
What instruments did you play?
Bass. So I started playing bass. So what happened was three friends of mine, we wanted to pick up instruments. So we were walking home from church and we just decided to, start learning instruments. So one guy decided,
so you're having a conversation.
Yeah. So one guy said he wants to do vocals, and that's what he did. And another guy said he wanted to play drums, and that's what he did. And I said I want to play bass.
And like, how old were you?
Must have been about 13.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's always hard to learn like an instrument when you're that young, isn't it?
No. Any child can learn an instrument, because music is a language. So if a child is learning to speak a language, so as soon as a child is learning to speak, it's a good time to actually teach a child an instrument, because it's a language, literally. So music has got an alphabet, just like any language. So yeah, so it's not too early. It was actually very late.
Really?
Yeah, I would have loved to start playing an instrument earlier than that.
So you probably just encourage everyone, just your child as early as possible.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to teach kids to learn instruments. Yeah, so I picked it up, and that was it.
In terms of discipline-wise, why would you say it's a good thing?
It's a good outlet. It's a good way of expressing yourself. So, whether you're happy, you're angry, you're depressed, you're whatever, instrument is a very good way of expressing yourself, instead of maybe going to find some substances to help you cope.
Yeah.
You can go and you can write a song, or you can go and play a song. So yeah, it definitely helped me, my teenage years.
Music is a language. There's a saying that when the music hits you, you feel no pain.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been giving painkillers for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Walter.
Dr. Walter, well, yeah. You need to get like a doctorate, because you really do a great job.
No.
I think you do. No. Because sometimes I think you wait for Sando after you're gone, but you're doing pretty well.
I think let's just keep that going. The whole Sando after you go business. Let's just keep it going. I don't want any Sandos now, not really. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I don't think I'll ever be done.
So speaking of not being done, I think you've kind of exhibited excellence when it comes to the music, the art of the business of music. So I go back to Jacaranda being something that I thought was such a beautiful thing. So Jacaranda Music Festival, where did the idea start? Because we've got jacarandas in Harare, very beautiful jacarandas.
Yeah, so I've been producing live events in the region before I started Jacaranda. So South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, but I never done anything in Zim. And also, I kind of felt like we needed to highlight Zim using some kind of vehicle or some channel. And music is the only way that I know how to do. And then also, I felt we needed to give our artists a platform that they can express themselves. It's a music festival, so everything is focused on the music. So
but is it just a concert, or there's so much more around it?
There's more to it. So now, this year, 2022, we've got 3 days of performances, but then we've got also 3 days of workshops. So education is key. And I believe that our acts, our artists, our creatives, not just the artists that are on stage, but people that are behind the scenes, sound guys, lighting guys, they're part of the performance, they're part of the full ecosystem of entertainment. So we do workshops, we bring in people that are professionals or internationally recognized individuals to come and teach about the different aspects of entertainment. So we have 3 days of that, and then we have 3 days of performances.
And like I keep on saying, you're really passionate about development of people.
Yeah, because I think what I learned from 𝘪𝗧𝗪𝘥, you mentioned 𝘪𝗧𝗪𝗥 earlier on, was he taught me that you have to love something, you have to be passionate about whatever it is that you do, love it, love it, love it, so that it's contagious. People can't, like I love bikes.
Yeah.
And I've managed to recruit a few bikers.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much.
Yeah.
So love whatever you're passionate about so intensely that you also want to teach other people. So he said, love, learn, and teach. So love, learn, and teach. Yeah.
You have to slow that down. Love, learn, and teach.
Yeah. So love a particular thing, love a particular subject, love, whatever it is that you're passionate about, learn about it. So we continue to learn. You're never gonna stop learning. Learn about it and then also teach. Because teaching is how we grow. So if it's taken you 5 years to be who you are today, teach someone else so that it takes them 2 years. And that person might teach someone else so that it takes them a year. Until we get to a point where what we do as a nation or as a people is almost as instant. But we don't get there if we don't teach the next person. So teaching is very important. So
love, learn, and teach.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm learning as well. I'm loving learning and being taught.
Yeah.
So it's not just Jacaranda Festival, but in terms of Jacaranda, actually, why did you specifically choose that name, Jacaranda?
I chose it because of the time of the year that we do it. It's in October.
So it hasn't moved?
It hasn't moved. It's always going to be the first weekend of October. And at that time, the Jacaranda trees in Harare are blooming, so it's full bloom. They'll start blooming in September, but by the time we get to October, it's like all purple. Because the tagline for Jacaranda Music Festival is the people, the music, and the city. So we're highlighting the music that we have in Zimbabwe, and then we invite other people to come and also share their music. The people of Zimbabwe, the people of Harare, we celebrate them, and we're also celebrating the city of Harare. So that's where Jacaranda comes from, because at that time of the year, the Jacaranda are in full bloom. So it was appropriate.
I love how you want to incorporate storytelling around African cities, the African story, because I know you're pretty passionate about that. We have kind of an inferiority complex whereby we look at other things and we're saying that's better. But you've kind of exhibited that. We've got
love. We've got unique stuff. We've got things that are unique about Zimbabweans, things that are unique to Africa, things that are unique to Harare. That is what makes other people want to come here. Yeah. So people like you because you're different from them, not because you're the same, really. So I think it's important that we highlight what makes us unique as Zimbabweans.
Is that what also the biking is about? Well, that's a completely different.
It's a different conversation.
Okay, I want to have the conversation, but let's finish touching on the festivals, because there's the Jacaranda, then there's Jabalani.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Jabalani.
Jabalani is a jazz festival, so we couldn't kind of fit jazz into Jacaranda, because you can't have black coffee and then also have
the same Judah
Marcus Miller before black coffee.
It's kind of not the same crowd.
Yeah, curating it would be difficult. Yeah, it's possible, but yeah. So we needed to have a different platform that highlights jazz as a genre by itself. So the other genre that I think would be separated from everything else is almost like gospel and even hip hop.
Yeah.
So hip hop actually deserves its own festival where you just do hip hop.
Yeah.
And then you've got jazz, and then you've got. So there's also a need to service or to give people that love jazz a day that they can, enjoy that type of music.
So, okay, so that's Jacaranda, which is in its 5th edition this year, right?
Yes.
But let's talk about Jabalani.
Jabalani is on its 2nd edition this year. So we started it, or we separated it because we couldn't fit jazz into the normal Jacaranda Music Festival lineup. So we had to create a space, a festival, a platform that is separate from that.
Yeah.
So we did it in April because April is Jazz Month. And we're in partnership with UNESCO because UNESCO celebrates jazz as well in April, on the 29th of April.
Right.
So we've, connected those dots, and we have it in April every year. So that's specifically for jazz.
Yeah, because I'm sure, you wouldn't really have certain artists with certain artists.
Exactly.
And, it just wouldn't make sense. And Jacaranda is like really high energy,
yeah.
and
Very
jazz
high
has got a
energy.
very different audience.
And it's also because it has a different audience. Besides it having a different vibe,
Yeah,
actually targets
the
a
audience
different
as
audience as well. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of this year, can you just tell us maybe who's coming? Just give us
which
a
one?
nudge for Jabalani, because that's the closer one.
Jabalani, we will have we will have Zimbabwean acts, we'll have South African acts, we've got acts from Nigeria, and we've got a single American act.
Because by now I'm thinking to myself, with COVID-19 and all of these things happening, I always worry about festivals,
Yeah, but I mean, obviously we have to have all the COVID protocols observed. But we have it outdoors. Both festivals are outdoors.
Yeah.
So we're outdoors, and in April, hopefully, we also have numbers revised by the time we have the festival. But yeah, I think it's gonna be quite good because people are kind of now used to having COVID protocols. Before being told to come and you sanitized,
wearing your mask,
wearing your masks, and things like that. So what we've done as well is we have decided that when people come, instead of having to put sanitizing stations, which we will have, we'll give people like goodie bags, which will have sanitizers and masks and whatever you need. So that's a standard. So we want to make that as a standard so that you, wherever you are, you don't have to find like sanitizers. You can actually have like a little box or little bottle that you have.
Yeah. Okay. Is Jabalani also like spanned over a period of?
Yes. So Jabalani also has workshops to it. So it also has an educational aspect
which
to
is specific to jazz.
Which is specific to jazz. And then it has 2 days of performances. So it started off with 1 day. So we've extended to 2 days and 3 days of workshops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're really going deep in this development of music. Someone has to. So the current state of the music industry in Zimbabwe, I always want to throw these kind of questions at people like yourself because you're at, like I said, the crux of it. Do you think we're moving in the right direction?
I think we are. What I feel we need to improve on now is more the rest of the ecosystem. We're focused a lot on the frontmen, your Tuku, your 𝗪𝗪𝗥𝗡𝗗, your Winky, but we haven't done a lot the back end. So the band itself, that backs most of these guys, and also the people that support the superstars and the artists that are on stage.
Yeah, because a lot of the times you find people wanting to also be superstars.
Yes, so it's not, I may have a love for music. Like I started playing music on stage, but I don't think I was made to stay on stage. I think I played music so that I can understand what it's like for an artist to be on stage, so that I can do what I do now. So I wasn't supposed to stay on stage and be a superstar. So, but
have an understanding.
Yeah, but I think I'm more effective in what I do now because I once played. So there are some people which I believe are still on stage, but are not supposed to be on stage.
Yeah.
Can
we talk about who they are?
I'm not saying names.
Let's say names so we can have some tea.
No. So I think those people, they have a love for music. They have a love for the creative space, the creative economy. But I think some of them just need to realize that, you're actually a manager. You're actually a booking agent. You're actually what do you call those people that dress you up?
Yeah, stylist.
stylist,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. You're supposed to be part of the ecosystem. You're not necessarily supposed to be on stage.
But you know, even people have a lot of problems with being a part of the ecosystem, but not being seen, because everyone just wants to be, you know, celebrity production manager or celebrity. You know what I'm saying? How do you even deal with that?
I think it's teaching again. It's teaching people that for a burner boy to be a burner boy, there's a team of 50 behind him. So we may see Burna Boy and his band and maybe know his manager or something like that, but there's a team of people behind the scenes that do other things.
Okay.
So I think to answer your question, we need to grow that back end. And we need to tell people or show people that there's a need for people to focus on different aspects of music that are not necessarily in the limelight.
So let's break it down. I'm a, you know, up and coming artist.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
What do I need? What type of a team would I need for me to start off with, for me to have a career that has a chance?
For someone that's starting out, I wouldn't say you need a team. I would say you need to understand what team you need eventually.
Okay. So let's talk about the eventual team.
Yeah. So eventual team as like a bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, manager is good. If you're lucky, you can get a road manager as well.
Okay. Which are two different things. Okay.
Booking agent is also another one. So booking
agent.
It's not the manager. So, but in Zimbabwe, you
have a manager who does everything.
Yeah. So those are three different things, three different roles for three different people. And then you also have booking agents that are specific to a region. So, for example, Tuku had a booking agent that was specific to Africa, and then one for Europe, and one for the States, and that side of the world. So there were 3 booking agents that used to do his bookings. So I didn't do bookings.
As a manager, you didn't do?
No.
Okay.
I did local bookings, Zimbabwean bookings, but I didn't do international bookings. So a lot of people will think Walter is the one that's making Tuku fly.
But you would give it someone else.
Yeah. So the job was someone else's job. What they would do is then they will say, okay, we've got these inquiries for this time of the year, these kind of shows. Then I would say, okay, cool. You know,
we can do
this we can do, this we can't, for whatever reason, whatever. So then, but it wasn't my day-to-day job for me to say, let me find where to play, you know, where Tuku's going to play next.
Can I ask a question, if we can just take it back? What does a manager, an artist manager actually do? Not the road manager, but there's so many different layers to it. What does a manager do?
Manager, in my world, or what I did, or what you're supposed to do, you're just supposed to know your product. I would say you're the husband or the wife. You need to be that close to your artist, and to also understand and believe in your artist almost more than
they believe in
themselves. And you need to know where they're going and plan where they're going in the space that they're in. And also link them with the different things. So I think the first meeting I had when I started managing Oliver Mtukudzi was for me to just understand where he wanted to go. So we sat down and we had an hour's conversation where I'm asking him questions so that I understand the direction he wants to do.
Yeah.
I only managed him for 6 years.
Well,
so
6 years is not really like but I get what you mean.
Yeah, but and also he had done it all.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do with this guy? He's done, you know, he's won all the awards. He's played everywhere. What else does he really want to do? So I was lucky enough to actually kind of be the guy that allowed him to achieve some of his more personal goals than career goals.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there were certain things and certain places that he wanted to play because he just wanted to play.
Yeah.
For example, he'd never been to Portugal, he never played in Portugal. So that was the one place. I said, where have you not played in that you would love to play? You know, so for me, I would say, okay, if he's never played there, he wants to play there, I'll make it my goal to make sure that he played there. And we managed to actually do Portugal. Yeah. So you're that guy, you're that very close person that he knows and you also know them, and you are there to facilitate where the career is going to go, and you also understand business as well. So the business management is for me what I feel is like the most important hat that you would be wearing, and the most important category where you marry the creative and the business. Because most creatives are not business minded. It's very rare that you find a creative that is very business minded and be super creative.
Yeah.
𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵 for me was the only one that I worked with that was both.
Yeah.
He was super creative and
But
also
also
very
business,
business minded. So he's the kind of guy where I would go to every meeting with because he was,
That
you
guy.
know, he was that guy. But most creatives are not exactly like that, even though they are business people. You don't wanna throw them in the business end of it, you know. But they want
Because you always
someone,
want to distinct between the business and the artist.
you want them to do the creative. You want them to master the creative and be good at the creative.
Yeah.
And they should trust you well enough to know that you're gonna look after their business, you know, as they would.
Wow. You're in such a world of knowledge, and I don't even think it's enough time. So
Thanks.
we're going to just cut it here, but you're going to tell me about the biking, and we're going to have some tea. But thank you for coming. And
Where's the sugar?
what do you think about it?
It's very
the
good,
MisRed
actually.
tea,
It's very nice.
right? I know,
Thank
because the
you.
blend.
Thank you.
It's all about the blend.
Thank you.
So we
Oh.
were talking.
I'll credit all on you.
Thank you so much. So we're talking about the team, right? So we spoke about the manager, road manager, and you kind of broke it down in terms of a manager, but the rest of the team, because it's not just a manager.
I would say, I think for an upcoming artist, you need a different type of team. And for an established artist, you need a different type of team. But 𝘂𝘪𝘨 always used to say there's no such thing as an upcoming artist.
Yeah,
Either
everyone's
you're
just an artist.
Yeah, everyone's just an artist. So how do you say, okay, now I'm established, now I need to get this team. But anyways, I would say basics, women, ladies, queens like you.
Yeah.
You need people that make you look good, that help you with
So your stylist, your makeup artist, your hair. Yeah.
people like that. And
A
you
team
actually,
on retainer.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
actually travel with those people as well. When you're going, if you're touring, you tour with people that make you look good, and there's people that make you sound good. So one person that a lot of people don't travel with as artists is a sound engineer.
Yes.
So a sound engineer for me is like a band member. This person is supposed to be there when you rehearse, understands your music, understands what you're doing when you're performing.
Yeah.
You know, 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵 that nice solo, that sound engineer needs to know that. But if you have a sound engineer from wherever you're going, he doesn't know your music, so he doesn't know how to highlight certain things.
Yeah.
So it's important to have that person. I think it's critical. The other person that I think is good to have is lighting.
Yeah.
You need to have a lighting engineer as well. But again, this is the ideal. This is in a perfect world where the ecosystem now works and also is profitable, because all these people, then it means money.
Yeah.
So in an ideal world, yeah, that's what I think
Needs to be there.
needs to be there. And then obviously people that help you with your PR and marketing and that kind of thing, people that write your press, people that make sure
because your manager definitely can't do all of these things.
So you've got people that are going to make sure that you've got the right images out, you know, the wrong images don't find their way out there.
Yeah.
They also make sure that that happens.
Yeah.
So that's basically like basics.
The perfect team.
Yeah.
Okay. At a basic fundamental.
At a basic,
Yeah. All right. So that aside, I want to know the future of the water Wanyanya business. That's your Jacaranda, your everything. Because there's 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵, which is the one that also does everything, or that's separate altogether.
Jacaranda, Jabalani, all the things that we do for 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵. 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵 is a production company. So that's the mothership.
Okay.
And then everything else falls underneath there.
So what's the future?
The future for 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵? Or for me personally?
For you personally, we could go on and on, you know.
Yeah.
But let's start off maybe with 𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵, and then we'll touch on water.
𝘋𝘪𝘨𝘪𝘵, entertainment, real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds very, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Entertainment, real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have that in Zim.
Okay. What does that mean?
We don't have concert halls. We can't have Beyonce in Zim right now.
Yeah.
Because we don't. Exactly.
Yeah.
So people like that will kind of tell you, we want minimum 50,000 people in the audience. We can't take them to National Sports Stadium because we can't have soccer there. Obviously, we can't have music there.
Yeah. So that already.
Yeah. So, but it's also not designed for that.
Yeah.
So we need more spaces where people can actually do what they need to do. So we need to build places where we can have where we can do this
Yeah.
in a specific space that's built for it.
Yeah.
We need to have studios built for TV. We need to have studios built for radio,
movies
for
even.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where we can build a set. We want to say, okay, instead of us going to Egypt, let's build the pyramids. Where do we do that?
And they can do that because
they
they do the same thing. Dubai has something
Exactly.
like that. They have that in the States,
So
South Africa.
so some scenes that you see in movies where they're in Africa, they're actually not in Africa. They've
Yeah.
actually built Africa in the middle of, a desert in Mexico.
Yeah.
Things like that. So we need to have that type of, industry that does that type of work. It's a dream, but I think I would love to see that happening.
It's a beautiful dream to have.
Yeah. So I would say I would love to see different 𝘂𝘪𝗨𝘪𝘵 venues, if you want to call it that, in different parts of Zimbabwe.
Entertainment, real estate. It sounds more, yeah.
𝗪𝗚𝗧𝗪𝗏.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say in a nutshell. What
𝘂𝘪𝗨𝗪𝗨𝘪.
𝘂𝘂𝘪𝗨𝗪. Personally, like you said, yeah, we could go on forever.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Just one.
One personally?
Yeah.
I played again a month ago. I think I would love to play again.
Yeah. So you're at a concert and you were like on the bass. So you'd love to play.
I played again after 7 years.
Wow. And you can still play? It doesn't go?
I can. It's like riding a bike. So this band, they asked me to come. I brought in a band for a show.
Yeah.
And they asked me to play with them 2 songs. And jumped on
loved
stage and I played with them.
Yeah.
Dusted up my guitar and everything. So it was cool.
Right.
I'd love to play again. After that, I was like, you know what? I enjoy this.
Let me do it again.
Yeah.
So your personal thing,
Yeah,
like your biking.
Like my biking.
And your social media sometimes.
Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd love to play again.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.